Hello everyone, welcome back to Breakage Barriers. My name is Blessing, aka Lady B. If this is the first time you're watching me and you have not subscribed, what are you doing? Before we delve into this video, make sure to press that red button down there, as well the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload, and make sure to like this video. Yeah, the African woman. The African woman, if you don't know, is one of the most disrespected human beings on the face of the earth. And this is due to colonization. The colonization African people went through, whereby their men were taken out of the household for free labor, to be chained, beaten, and murdered, thereby leaving the African woman at home vulnerable of rape, vulnerable of all types of atrocity you can't even imagine, at least from what history has taught us. And so many people might say today, oh, here they come again talking about slavery, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we will continue to talk about this enslavement because it happened. And because it happened, we must talk about it, because the side effects of that enslavement that took place hundreds of years ago is still affecting the current Africans today. It affects the current Africans in Africa and in diaspora. Why? Because we are daily reminded of our complexion, and this complexion has been a source of barrier to success. The side effect also boils to how we as Africans relate with each other because of the divisions that our foreparents had to go through. That division and subjugation and discrimination became a tradition that was passed down from that time up until now, and is still ongoing. Why? Because we haven't addressed it as Africans. We only talk about the slavery that we went through in the past, but we need to address this issue because it's affecting us today. Because it has changed our original culture of the way we treat one another, especially the African woman. Today, the African woman has become so stigmatized. She's labeled as a prostitute. She's undervalued. She's spoken down on as subordinate. The African woman suffers greatly a lot of discrimination from the outside world and from her own community, whereby she's told to act in a subjugating way as opposed to the other gender, the male, is severely affecting Africa. And in today's African culture, it is the belief that the woman has a place of being subordinate because of hierarchy. Patriarchy affects Africa and the African culture. But when we look back beyond colonization, that is pre-colonization, that was not how it was. We have lost our original value. What today is being practiced is the colonization, is the subjugation that we had to go through as a people, as a community. And we have come to absorb this culture from colonization as our culture, which is contrary to the normative. Africans have to go in search of its original African culture pre-colonization, so we can now start to redevelop ourselves psychologically as a people and be able to relate with one another, and thereby able to build our own community according to our own tradition, just the way our ancestors did it pre-colonization. So today, the African woman is at the end of affairs in this discussion. We need to bring back our culture pre-colonization and stop subjugating our women. We have gone through a lot. Our foreparents, our foremothers have gone through a lot of forbearance, a lot of tolerating injustice, which is not how it used to be pre-colonization. So as a representative of an African woman, yes, I am digging into history, not just to find out how our women as Africans used to be treated, but also to find out how or what our true culture was pre-colonization, so that we can start addressing ourselves with some dignity, because colonization has made us lose our dignity physically and psychologically. When you look at other communities, like the Asian community, for example, the Chinese, they still have intact most of their culture, which is being used as part of their development today. You look at the Western culture. Christianity is the Western culture. Christianity is what enlightened most of the Western communities, and that has helped their development. When you look at the Middle East community, Islam is what worked for them. But when you look at the African community, it's all over the place. We have forgotten our own religion. The original African tradition has been demonized by colonization. And so today's Africans do believe that our original tradition is evil. Our original tradition is full of demons. But we haven't really taken time out to research, investigate, and see if these names that have been given to our tradition is truly so or false. So it is until we start digging into our original tradition as a community, maybe then we can start rediscovering who we truly are as a community of Africans, of Black people. But for us to be able to start, we need as a community to be able to extend that saving hand that the African woman was denied of during colonization, while the men were taken away from them into labor, while they were left at home to defend themselves. And that's where you get the African woman being strong. Yes, because of the tenacity that generation exercised, which has been passed from one generation to another. But in being strong, kind of robs us of our humanity as well, because in being strong, be denied the necessary help needed as a human and as a woman. It's about time for Africans to revive the mother. The African woman represents the womb. The African woman is the one that brings about the community, the African community, because it is through the African woman's womb that you have the African community, just like in other ethnicities. So it is about time the African woman, the place of the African woman is redefined. And this is what we are going to be talking about this week. Thank you very much for watching. I'll get to see you in the next video. Take care now.